seconds. 4,
I'll come in
3,
more,
2, 1.
Alright, what's up, you guys? What's going on?
What's going on?
What's happening? Let me go to make sure everything's running here on Facebook Live. How you guys doing? Welcome to another special episode of Social Thought. We're back. It's 2020.
2020, baby.
2020. And I know you guys are probably seeing on this side here, you're like, is that the prettiest legislator in the Hudson Valley right now? No, it's not, everybody. I can assure you it is not. It is actually Lou. All right, let me kill my volume right here. On Facebook Live. How you guys doing? What's up? All right, everybody, it's not. So this is Lou, social thought contributor and comedian.
Yes.
I know you guys seen on the last few episodes it was just a little bit of a little craziness that was going on the side there.
Yeah.
That was this man right here. This man is a very, very funny man. I've known him for some time. Welcome to Social Thought. I'm very happy for you to come in on the show. We got our female co-host on my right hand side here, India Ivana. Am I saying that right? Ivana.
He knows how to say it.
I know how to say it. And then I am your host with the mostest, Mike. I'm in the house, everybody. Enthusiast, journalist, all that good stuff. Welcome to Social Thought. Today's episode, we will be talking about New Year's resolutions because it's 2020. We're going to be talking about relationship goals. We're going to do the part 2 to it. So, still, putting out all them grievances and all that good stuff there. And we will also be talking about what happened over the past couple weeks in Iran, between the Iran and U.S. tension. So that's going to be a nice, awesome conversation. But, how we get it started here on Social Thought. Everybody go to www.socialthought.com or thesocialthought.com to get some more information on the show. You can always stream us on Spotify and all iHeartRadio and all social media and podcast platforms, okay? Welcome to Facebook, everybody. Hit that share button.
Now.
Hit that share button right now. Tell your friends, invite people. Hashtag Social Thought. And we're going to be playing, we're going to start off with some spooky. How about that? Spooky. And then we're going to take a little break, come back, and get into this conversation. Spooky. This one is called Slow Wine, everybody. We will be right back after this.
I just wanna be with you, girl. I really love the thing you do, girl. Slow wine for me, girl, slow wine. Slow wine for me, girl, slow wine. Slow wine for me, girl, slow wine. Your time, baby girl, your time. Go shine, baby girl, go shine. Yeah. I know you got a man, yeah. Just give me the chance, I can help you understand, yeah. We can be more than friends, yeah. I know you got a man, yeah. Just give me the chance, I can help you understand, yeah. This was all part of my plan, yeah. Now you steady tweeting, saying that you're leaving, cause you don't believe him. Your friends say that he's creeping, and that can be the reason it's right up in your DMs. I see your heart broken, going through emotions, better watch what you're posting. Typing all your feelings, now you got everybody up in your business. Send you a message, I see that you're stressed, but girl, you a blessing. You a blessing. you, be seen with you, girl. I just wanna slow wine for me, girl, slow wine. Slow wine for me, girl, slow wine. Slow wine for me, girl, slow wine. And your time, baby girl, your time. Your time, baby girl, your time. Go shine, baby girl, go shine. Yeah.
Oh, look who's here. Mr. Look, you're looking really suave today.
Trying, man. Trying to catch up.
Now that you're a year older.
Trying to catch up, man. You know what I'm saying? Can't wear my Nietzsche sweater no more. I'm 29 now.
Happy belated birthday.
Happy belated birthday, sir.
Thank you, man.
How are you
Thank
feeling? You just turned 35.
Yeah, my knees hurt.
Yeah, how's that going?
My knees hurt. My knees hurt, but everything is good, man. I can't complain.
Ain't got nothing to do with age.
Yeah, I can relate.
You can really right? You know, 29 is.
He actually didn't hit 30 yet. That's
I didn't hit 30 yet.
I mean, I hit my 30.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You been hit
Oh,
30.
Get out of here.
Mike's been 30 since 73.
I'm a baby.
That's how you feel?
Mike been 30 for about 5 years.
That's
Oh,
whole
nice. Everybody, welcome back to
That's a whole
Social Thought. I'm your host, Michael. I have on my left side here, Social Thought contributor and analyst and comedian, Mr. Lou is in the building.
Yes.
All right, I got to my right our newest female co-host.
Hi.
India's in the building, the incredible. How are you?
I'm
Welcome
good.
back.
Hi, guys.
I can't wait. I can't wait for all the excitement, especially with summer. It's gonna be a hot summer.
It's gonna be a hot
It's
summer.
gonna be a hot summer.
Hot
And then
boy
Hot
girl
girl
summer.
summer.
there we go. Yeah. Then we got the prettiest legislator in the Hudson Valley,
What up, man?
DJ King of Pop.
The king.
John Carlo Laverius is in the building. Anybody just joining Social Thought, hit that share button. Definitely hit that share button. Invite friends. Tell them about it. John Carlo, do your thing about where they can send music.
Yeah,
buy
man.
music.
So if you have music, if you want to do business with the Social Thought, you can go to business@thesocialthought.com. You could also hit makingproductions1@gmail.com. That is makingproductions1@gmail.com. We want to come to your city, your town, your area. We want to put a spotlight on your social thought. Social thought is all about putting the light on places where they do not shine. So we want to hear your social thought in your area. So come to us. We will travel to you, and we're ready to do that.
Absolutely. So absolutely. So before we get it started, Lou, you know what I'm saying? You were very excited. You really wanted to be on the first episode of the new year. Tell everybody about yourself a little bit. You don't have to go too much into detail if you don't want to, but just, so what's up?
A little bit about myself. Well, entrepreneur, trying to conquer the world one step at a time.
Right.
Shout out to my family if you guys are watching. Nothing but love. It's an honor to be here. Mike and I have known each other for a while. We share many a joke throughout the day and share a bunch of good laughs. So it's an honor to be here, and it's a pleasure.
Thank you. I appreciate you as well. I appreciate you. All right, India, do you want to say anything?
I posted something.
Oh.
In regards to like me being on Social Thought now.
Okay.
I'm just really big on promoting for local businesses. Right now I have Plaza. She made this hat for my Thick Thigh sisters. So anybody, if you guys are interested in me wearing any of the clothes or brands that you guys may have, definitely hit me up in my inbox.
That's right.
India Ivana on Facebook.
We advertise, man.
That's it. Hey, choose local first. That's all I'm saying.
Spooky, I'm waiting for my shirt.
There we go.
Spooky.
Spooky gave us a really dope shirt.
He
man.
did.
He gave us a dope shirt
He
for
did.
Social Thought. So
He's fire.
yeah, absolutely,
He's very
100%. All right, so let's get into our topics here. World War III is upon us, everybody.
Oh, man.
Twitter, the internet broke the other day, and it goes to show you the type of world we are living in today, where pretty much
Just how fast this
yeah,
goes,
I
man.
know. So this is a very serious matter, but
Yeah.
of course, sometimes we do shine a little bit of light on this. But we're talking about the history of the U.S. and Iran relations. If you guys don't know, recently, President Trump did order a strike on a very high military official in Iran, a general that did cause a stir. But a lot of people don't understand that before this happened, a U.S. embassy was attacked prior to this, which caused President Trump to make the decision to take out this military leader whose name I have a very hard time
Qasem
pronouncing.
Soleimani.
Ooh.
There was also an attack on some oil tankers that were owned and operated by the U.S.
As well.
Yeah, as well.
Okay.
Interesting. I didn't know that. That puts,
See, that puts another twist on it. See,
Yeah.
look at that. I appreciate that right there.
Also, from what I gathered, this guy that we're speaking about, I also have a hard time pronouncing his name. But he led a regime that, over the course of about 13 or so years, was responsible for the death of 600 American personnel. So there's
See
that
that?
too.
So
Yeah.
we're talking about Social Thought contributor Lou breaking the news story for us there with that. U.S. President, and this is from PRI, the World, by the World Staff, everyone. U.S. President Donald Trump authorized an overnight airstrike in Baghdad that killed Iran's top general.
Qasem Soleimani.
Thank you. On Friday, Soleimani was the second most powerful person in Iran, following Supreme Leader.
Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
You guys are incredible. He was also behind Iran's growing influence in the region. The strike came after the Iran backed Kataib Hezbollah.
Yes.
Yeah, man, thank you guys.
Hezbollah.
Right on.
Militia attacked the U.S. Embassy in Iraq. Kataib was followed by Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis.
Yeah, Kataib Hezbollah is a Hamas organization, it's a terrorist organization.
Yes.
Thank you. An advisor to Soleimani, who was also killed in the attack. Trump issued the airstrike without congressional approval or authorization of military force against Iran. And many experts said that they feared this assassination could spark further violence and military escalation. Iran threatened Friday to respond harshly, and the U.S. deployed thousands of additional troops to the region. So let's get into this conversation here. How serious is this attack?
You know what? When I first heard about it, I was pissed off about it. I was.
And why? Why is that?
I think war is senseless. You can never achieve peace through war.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But we have to understand the United States' history with war, right? The reason why the U.S. is so developed is because of war, because of the things we have conquered and the things that we've been able to take back from it. Speaking to other people, speaking about especially those who don't agree with me, who are Trump supporters from the other side, it was damned if he did and damned if he didn't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if he didn't do the airstrike, right, his supporters would be like, yo, they just bombed a U.S. embassy. This guy has this history of killing so many people. He's supposed to help us out here, right? And then on the other side, for me, I think of it as, the troops just going there. You know what I'm saying? We're putting them into an unknown place, and they can get shot up any other day, right?
Okay.
So, it's a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing. I mean, do I like what he did? No. Do I? If I'm looking at it objectively, do I understand it? Yeah, I understand why he did it. Push come to shove, if I was the president, and I had this guy in my sights, and I only had one chance to get him, if it was either the now or never, I'd probably press the red button too.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna go down the line. India, your thoughts on it?
Exactly what I was telling you before. When we did Bin Laden, we did not have congressional support. But because everybody knew about Bin Laden, what he did to us and everything like that, no one really made it a big deal. We applauded Obama for that. But, this guy had to go. He didn't just do what he did as far as the tankers and as far as the embassy, but they said that they also found plans for him to do other stuff going forward.
Right.
So, I mean, it's like, do y'all want another 9/11, or you just want to keep talking stuff about the guy with the toupee?
Before I get into your side and I get into your side now, I know you said we didn't have congressional approval to go after Obama. To go after Bin Laden. But again, if you look at it, you would say that Bin Laden was acting as more of an independent part of the Taliban, which was a terrorist regime, right? Not a nation, which is Iran.
Right.
So you wonder to yourself, were you opening a bigger can of worms at that point? By the time I feel like Bin Laden was taken out, the Taliban was at its lowest moment.
Really
it was
point,
starting
yeah.
to spin.
I would agree with
True.
that wholeheartedly.
So do you think that President Trump was opening up a bigger can of worms in this instance versus the Bin Laden instance?
Definitely. I do agree that it's a big.
Yeah, because he's going after military.
Yeah,
right.
a
You're
major.
going through the country's military
Okay.
compared to going after Hamas or going through ISIS. These are organizations that are not necessarily connected to the country itself. They're the rebel regimes,
A
terrorist
major.
regimes, right? They're like the Bloods and the Crips in New York.
Right.
Right. So it's one thing to kill a kingpin who's a blood, but then it's another thing to kill a top general, in the American military.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, because that's connected to the country.
Gotcha.
Now your thoughts on this?
Well, the gentleman is actually deeply connected. He's been at the helm of many covert operations, from what I gather. I mean, and I didn't really do too much digging into it, but from what I gather, he's been a staple within the overall structure of that government structure. And I mean, at one point he was also involved in a heavy embattlement with ISIS. They were trying to eradicate ISIS as well. So it's being on the outside looking in, it's kind of it's a toss up as to where he stood. But I mean, with regard to having no regard for American life, I mean, we can definitely say that that was the case with this man. And from what I also gather, he mostly moved covertly. He was mostly a shadow figure, and he has multiple installations of groups of militia scattered throughout the Middle East that he could enable at any time.
And being such an important figure, right? This man being such an important figure to Iran and to the Middle East, right? As you could see, there was many protests after this.
Yeah.
Do you believe that and I said this earlier, we were talking, we don't want to put anybody's life above anybody else's, right?
Sure.
So, do you believe that attacking a U.S. embassy warranted taking out a top general?
I think if you're going to retaliate, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if you punch me, I'm going to punch you harder to make sure that you understand where this is coming from.
Okay.
So I think that was the U.S.'s reaction. Be like, oh, you want to bomb the embassy? Okay, that's cool. Let me put in some numbers here and we'll find out. And we'll take out your general. Just to show you that your little push, we could do much bigger impact. So you're showing the power. So I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? The U.S. is like, oh, okay, you're gonna mess with us. We're gonna show you a different. Different side. So I think, in a sense, in war, nothing is fair. So if you're coming at us in a certain way, I gotta come 10 times harder. You can't go embassy for embassy. No, sir. I'm gonna take out the next person that you think is your top guy.
Yeah.
I believe that it was methodical.
I believe it's
Absolutely.
methodical.
Take one to save hundreds, thousands.
I believe it's methodical,
Right.
definitely.
I mean, this has crippled them in a way that we couldn't really describe.
Oh, absolutely.
Now it's a matter of reorganization, scrambling to try and who knows what their response is going to be.
Sure.
Hopefully, it's not one of a radical nature that would then inspire some sort of. I mean, because our president is kind of loose.
I think that's a safe word to say.
That's a safe word.
That's a safe word to say.
So, I mean, whether or not that works in our favor or against us, I mean, I'm sure in this instance, it's probably doing a little bit of both of that. Definitely, on some level, compromising the American people's security blanket.
Right, and after the attacks happened, immediately, Mayor de Blasio did come out and state that, we want to take extra precaution, extra measures for New York City itself. Because again, whenever any type of attack is done or there's any threats against the United States, New York is usually the main target.
Right.
Iran has come back out and said that if they are going to attack, they are going to attack military sites.
Yeah,
in
it
the
would make
US.
sense. Yeah.
If I may, I think if there's one thing we need to talk about in protecting New York, it's definitely revisiting that bail reform policy.
We can talk about that.
That's going to be another social topic.
That in itself is definitely, let's not talk about foreign terroristic threats. That in itself is a domestic threat to our society and our elderly and
just vulnerable people, period.
Our vulnerable citizens. That needs to be addressed. But back on
That's
topic.
what we're gonna have back on Social Thought.
Hell yeah, I
That time
can't wait.
comes up. But yeah, again, you were saying about the military threat.
Yeah, it would make sense to destroy military areas.
Yeah.
You say if we're going to war,
Mhm.
the best way to take you out is by taking out your bases.
Mhm.
Right.
So you're looking at places like Fort Bragg. You're looking at places in Arkansas where the Air Force is,
Mhm.
right? Places like Newburgh, even as close as Newburgh, right here locally. If they want to take out someone who's not New York City but close to it,
Mhm.
we're the next one. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know if y'all remember there was an HBO documentary about Newburgh and domestic threat that was being planned. The FBI
Oh,
got
I didn't know
involved.
that. No, I didn't hear about
It was
that.
on HBO. It was really good. It was some local people from Newburgh that really got caught up in some stuff that they shouldn't have been caught up
Sure.
in. And but anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, no, I would agree wholeheartedly. Let's attack the military infrastructures and weaken the force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely.
So
And that's the scary thing because they're sitting ducks. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
So the Trump administration during the presidency, during his presidency, before his presidency, has always talked about how the Iran deal was something that he was not too fond of. Okay, so in 2018, Trump walks away from the Iran deal. U.S. President Donald Trump announces he is walking away from the Iran nuclear deal and reimposes crippling sanctions. Trump says the deal did nothing to limit Iran's ballistic missile program or its regional aggressions. Do you believe that the deal with Iran was a weak one?
I didn't. Well, I can't speak to it because I didn't see the deal.
Right.
I didn't read it.
Okay.
So I can only go by what's there. If I was a country that had estranged relations with the U.S. and you want to tell me that, hey man, you know what, you got a little bit too many missiles. No, I'm not. I'm not withdrawing my missiles. I'm not withdrawing my nuclear powers because that is going to make me seem weak to my people. So if you decide one day to attack me, I have less armor than you. That's not going to work. So, again, going off by not seeing the document at all, that would be the only thing that I would think why he would walk away from it because they said we're not changing anything.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, when we're talking about like the nuclear weaponry and stuff like that, there's treaties that are established, prior to all of this, and I think what it comes down to is, and I didn't really do much research on the topic, but a violation of those treaties or speculative violation of those treaties, which is causing, either side to be like, wait a minute, and let's pull back, reflect, and review, and are you abiding by the treaty or not?
Now, anybody that wants to call in, the number to call in is 914-219-0905. You can call in on all topics today on Social Thought. All right, let's continue on this topic here.
Let's get into some comments. I'm seeing a bunch of comments.
Yeah, I'm
Scroll
seeing.
That's
up.
what I'm like reading it.
So, let's get into a couple comments, and then I have a couple more questions for you guys. All right, so let's see. Mr. Al says, as much as I love this assassination, I want to see some sort of unclassified information as to what attacks Soleimani was planning.
Okay. I can see that.
Because they only did say in one of the articles that I read that he was planning
something, but we
other
don't know what that
things,
is.
but we don't know what it was at all.
I think if the media did more press on the attack of the U.S. Embassy, on these oil tankers, I think more people would be more. I think I would be even more understanding.
Absolutely.
Because it wasn't until I started reading more about the assassination that it was in connection to this U.S. Embassy. I was like, yo, why didn't I hear about this before?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm the elected official.
Absolutely.
Right.
I didn't get no letters from nobody.
And again, it is media, and we are going through an impeachment process right now as well.
But
so
still,
even
that,
so
that,
you may
that's
want
how
Certain
to.
things they probably gave it like a 30-minute
know,
excerpt inside.
Not
of
saying
their
exactly.
wheel,
Not
and
saying
was
that they left
kept
it
going.
out, but a lot of news media outlets will like to twist the narrative just a little, put a little spin
Not
on
give certain
something.
things limelight.
As if this was
the
just
overall
a.
goal was to incite hysteria.
Well, that's exactly what
Absolutely.
they do.
It's all for ratings.
What they
If you have
do.
people running in fear, then you can have a much better grasp on them.
I did see, let's see, I just seen a video of a gentleman in Iran at a press conference saying that they are coming for Trump. They don't want to hurt us as people, basically an eye for an eye.
Yeah, the Iranian president came out with a press conference speaking to his military, saying that he has no issues with the people of the U.S. He has troubles with the leadership of the U.S. He did that specifically. He made a real clear distinction of that. And that's why Trump did the same thing.
So
He's like, we don't have an issue with the Iranian people. We have an issue with the leadership. You know? And so, you know, just to make a joke out of it, just put the both of them in a boxing ring, give them 12 rounds, and see who wins. You know?
Do you think this is a back and forth of who's stronger?
It's
My
probably
military stronger
it's probably
than your military.
It's probably you know, a growing contest. You know, to see who has the bigger one. I'm always going to go for the U.S., even though I'm not a Trump supporter. Like, you're not just going to shit on my country.
This is
but,
where you live.
like, you're not going to shit on my country. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going for the U.S. all the way.
Yeah.
Despite who's ever the leadership, because of the troops that are there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when you look at elected officials, even myself as an elected official, even though I represent the law, I'm not defending the law like those guys down there. And these are cats that come back traumatized. These are people that come back to almost become second-class citizens. You know, when I worked as a paralegal, you know, working with Veterans Affairs, there were so many homeless veterans that these people put their lives on the line. They can't even find housing. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, that is wild.
Damn.
I think it's important to, you know, understand that, like, regardless of it all, like, people shouldn't be outwardly speaking negatively about their country and not promoting your fellow man and what we are about as a people, and that's the one. I mean, it's the one word. It's united.
Yep.
And I mean, you know, like, that's what we need.
No, we're not.
We need everybody to be united and stand for the Constitution and stand for the protection of our rights and us as a people and the life that we live, the social thought, the YouTubes, what we're able to do as a people freely. And that's what's really at stake.
And I think people forget that unity and uniformity are two different words that have two different definitions. Right? Uniformity means that we think alike.
Yes.
Right? Unity means that we think
thoughts,
differently, but we have a common goal.
Right.
Right? So, you know, it's like the human body. There's different organs that have different shapes and different functions, but they all function united to make to make people work. Right? So the same way that us as Americans are, we need to be united. I disagree with a lot of what Trump says, right? I didn't vote for him. I'm not a fan of him. But if somebody comes to my country, best believe I got a gun waiting. You're not just gonna talk.
That's your Second Amendment right.
You're not gonna burn the flag in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Even though I disagree with the leadership of the flag, don't burn that thing in front of me. We're gonna have some issues.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is my country still. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So now. You already know what we're about to get into here, okay? 2020.
2020
is election year.
The year of clear vision.
All right? There has been a lot of backlash against Trump over the last 6 months or so since this whole
Can you turn on the TV
Look
without
at us
hearing
be
anything?
You know what I'm saying
Since
with the
he's gotten
impeachment
in
inquiry. So in 2011, Trump did say that attacking Iran or to be reelected, Obama will probably incite a war to get reelected. Do you believe that this is Trump eating his words right now? Or putting his foot in his mouth?
Maybe a little bit.
And
Maybe a little bit. Maybe.
Again, I know this was an attack on the U.S. Embassy, right? But do you believe that he may have pulled off this attack for approval ratings?
I mean, if I may, I think, you know, Iran was in heavy violation. There was also recently they shot down a surveillance drone or something that was ours and it was patrolling and it really was of no threat. Then they started going after those oil tankers and then it was the embassy. I think Iran was basically, in my opinion, it seemed like they were being a little defiant, trying to show that, listen, you guys aren't going to tell us a single thing. And, you know, screw you. So, I mean, in a sense, yeah, Trump playing the macho card, it could be that. Could very well be that. And that may be him, you know, doing exactly what you said, putting his words in his mouth, right? But I think overall, like we said earlier, it was necessary. I think it was necessary to set the tone and say, like, all right, enough's enough. And, you know,
Chill
it's
out.
not gonna fly. Chill out.
Chill out.
Your thoughts, Miss India? Do you believe this was a tactic for re-election?
Yes. And the only reason why I'm gonna say that is because I can't stand him at all, like whatsoever. So, but even here, I feel like, all right, like, you know, like I feel like walking up to him and just being like, I see you. You care a little bit, but I because I mean, like I said before, like one versus hundreds or thousands of lives, like. You don't know whose family member, cousin, brother, sister, mom, child is over there up in the embassy. Somebody could have just been walking through there just to walk through there to go and might have been a reporter or something like that, and was there and died. And now it's like, what are you going to do about it? Just because you see his fit.
And before we get into that comment, because I see it, I just want to get your thoughts on that really quickly.
Do I think it's a re-election tactic? I think it could be both. I don't see why it has to be one or the other. I think it was, like my brother said, it could have been a macho card where he said, okay, you attacked us, now we got to punch you with 2 hits. And it could be the same as an election. Be like, okay, you know what? He made the decision without telling people, but to a certain degree, when we're objective about it, we could say he made the right decision. That could give him some points. Sure. But let's say this didn't happen at all, right? Trump still got loyal supporters. It doesn't matter whether, you know, we attacked or we didn't attack. The fact is that this man has supporters, that people would vote for him, and that's just what it is. So I don't know. I think we have to wait and see how this, you know, quote unquote war develops.
Yeah.
If it even develops, you know, it could be, you know, just a tit for tat thing. Okay, you destroy us, we destroy you. Okay, we'll call it a day. You know?
I mean, like, they are like a major nuclear power, a major power player, but I mean, still, all in all, their military ain't fucking with us. Jesus, excuse my language. Like,
messing.
It's not messing.
They're not.
They're not touching us.
They're not.
I mean, you know what I mean? It's very sad if we have to go through this, you know, and you know, thousands, maybe even millions of people lose their lives, like whether it be people from Iran or people from America. It's going to be a sad situation because at the end of the day, no one should be in charge of anyone else dying but the higher power that you believe in, whoever it may be. For me, it's God. So that's who puts the switch on and off. But at the end of the day, I know I'm not worried because we got this.
Right.
We got this.
Right.
We are not but big bullies. We got this.
I'm hoping that there is some type of negotiation or anything that can be worked out so we can save hundreds of thousands of lives.
Because the worst thing about war isn't necessarily the war itself, but it's the innocent casualties that happen.
Yeah.
So if I look at it from someone, you know, my mother who has traveled to the Middle East and friends who have traveled to the Middle East have seen the destruction of schools. You know, pillars just coming down. You know, innocent things that are casualties of war. I think is the saddest thing of war. You know, if you're a military person who goes into the military, okay, that's part of war. You signed up for that. But when you see kids dying or you see innocent people dying, or, you know, and there's sometimes where there goes to extremes where the children are even involved in, whereas child bombs. And you got to shoot that 5-year-old before he blows up your platoon, right? So things like that got to be hard, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I dislike war so much, is because it only comes to destruction.
Yes.
You know, and the only people that really get anything from war is elected officials.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We get to say, oh yeah, I made that decision. But you weren't in the trenches with me, bro. You didn't see my homie get shot in the head. I got to kill a 5-year-old at 35 meters.
Absolutely. I actually Ubered somebody who advised, like he's retired out. What is it called when you're
He's a veteran?
Yeah, he's a veteran, but I'm okay. Well, yeah, he's just not old, so I feel like every time I see a veteran,
He's
old, but he's a veteran, and he was telling me about how like it's him and his whole entire family are all veterans, and how back around 9/11 when they were over there in Afghanistan, that his brother was there, and like when he came back, he was acting a little weird, a little off. Like he had a great job and everything was going good, but like something about him was like just a little off. And he said one day, you know, they took the time and they had a conversation, and he told him like, yeah, they went in, you know what I mean? They had to check all the houses to make sure, you know, people weren't sitting there hiding in plain clothes. And at the house, he said the dude was 8 years old, and the little boy was just sitting there holding a gun, like And it's like, at that point,
Dude,
unfortunately, it's like, yeah, it's a child, but it's like, it's you or it's me.
That's
Right.
the crazy thing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, our last comment that I'm going to read for this topic is, this from Miss Gold. This war is deliberate. I said in day one of the presidency that Trump always wanted to start a war. He was just waiting for any excuse. I mean, we do see a trend that most Republicans do resort to a tactic of war or some type of retaliation or type of strength in a sense versus a Democratic president. So do you believe that this is just following that trend, or?
I think there's no peace without war, no war without peace.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate truth with the history of the U.S. Is that the reason we have, like I said at the beginning, the reason that we have all these freedoms is because of the wars that we went to. You know what I'm saying? In the places that we conquered, and the resources that we've stolen, that we've apprehended, all of that. And it's the sad history of the U.S. That we got all these things. War has been a part of history since forever.
I mean, yeah, there's sadness in it, but there's triumph in it.
Right.
There's honor in defending what we have.
Absolutely.
And adding more to it. It's the same concept of growing as a person. It's an honor to gain more knowledge and be able to, excel in what you're doing. And as a country, it's been the same. And we've conquered more land. We've created this populace of beautiful mixed people that are able to speak freely and entertain all this wild phenomena that's going on. And I think it's important to know that no matter how far back you look, war is sewn into the fabric of America.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so closing statements on this topic. I'm going to start with you, Mr. Giancarlo, and go down.
Yeah, definitely, praise to the troops that are going out there, especially after the holiday season.
Yeah.
For some of them, it's a short visit for family, and then they have to go back to it.
I believe there's over 3,500 deployed.
Yeah, we're close to 7,000 now.
Yeah.
So, to our troops, definitely, our prayers are out there. We thank you for the service that you're providing and the risk that you're taking that we're not. That we certainly are not taking. So I certainly hope that, that when this is all over and said and done with, that we truly really start taking care of our active, our retired military. Because I've seen it time and time again that they should be treated like national treasures, honestly.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They should come back and not have to worry about nothing.
And
You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't have to worry about housing. They shouldn't have to worry
And it
about
was,
health benefits.
and back in the 1800s, it was actually looked at that way. That when you came back from war, you had a home waiting for you.
Yeah,
You had all these.
and
You had benefits and everything, and land, everything.
Like,
As
that's
soon as
the
you come back
least
from
you
war.
could do for somebody. There's even young kids who are 17, 18 who say, I want to defend my country. I don't necessarily want to go to college. I want to do this. And he's 20 years old. He comes back with all these issues. He hasn't even started life yet.
Yeah.
Brother, we got to be able to do more for our military. And I think this country takes our military for granted. We say hoorah, hoorah, yes, we love the military. But when you look at policy and how things are structured, we're not doing anything for them.
Beautiful. India, closing statements.
I really hope that we don't have war.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not I hate to sound so girly on this panel, being the only female right now. But I'm really all about love, not war. So I really hope this doesn't cause war. However, I don't regret what happened, because you never know what could have happened, if what those plans could have been, what else was coming next, or at the same time though, you still don't know what's coming next now. But I mean, with what is the president of Iran saying, he only wants Trump, but it's like that was one of your major generals. You didn't know that he was out here bombing tanks, killing people in the embassy, but you only want Trump? Or is it maybe white, redhead people? I mean, if that's the case, you should be straight. You should dye your hair though. But other than that, this is crazy. I don't know. I don't like war. I don't like fighting.
It's big business though. War is big business.
It don't put no money in my pocket though.
Oh, I mean, but again, it's why America is America. I mean, war got money to it.
Right.
$34 trillion in military equipment.
Absolutely.
That's money, bro.
It's, most times it's war that brings you out of a recession or depression. It was World War II that brought us out of the Great Depression.
Sure.
Shout out to my grandfather,
Shout outs to
who's
that
no
brother.
longer with us.
Oh, rest
Lou
in peace,
Senior,
man.
who was a World War II veteran, and my father, Lou Jr., who is a Vietnam veteran.
Yes.
Oh, that man, he played no games.
If I may.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important that we stick up for our military. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
Definitely.
Where's loyalty at? You know what I'm saying? We got brothers and sisters going over to fight and coming back and finding out that their significant other has done the
Some stuff.
unholy to them.
Yo,
And let
he's
them
not
high and dry.
lying.
I mean, I think it's important to
He's
show
not lying.
love and loyalty. I mean, and I guess that kind of transcends in the whole other facets of life. But I would think that people should, 2020, make sure that the people in your corner are loyal to you and
Yes.
they love you. Be
Yes.
open and aware of interactions and actions that these people around you that you say you love are loving you, and they actually, honorably support you, and they're not pillow talking or talking negatively behind your back. That's very important. Furthermore, I think if we're talking about the country and Iran is saying they want our president, well, that's our president. So what's really good? Like that's that's
like-
us. That's
like,
us.
yeah,
That's,
like,
nobody's coming for any of us.
Right.
And I think that's the idea behind war. When we say enough's enough, nobody's coming and doing anything out of line to our people, and we're gonna put everything on the line to defend that. And I think, like I said, loyalty and love is very important for our military, and support to all of our family and friends, regardless of our differences.
Agreed, man. I think people in the military, they're not all Republicans, right? They're not all Trump supporters. I think, like our brother said, they're there to fight because they love where they're at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I signed up for the selective service and things like that. I've trained and things like that. Like, anytime I'm called, I'm ready to do it, bro. Like, I'm ready. I'll be more than prepared to fight for my country, because it's been good to me. It's been good to me, despite all the social BS that happens because we're black and brown people, and our experiences are completely different than those who are white. Nonetheless, I'm better off here than North Korea.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying? I'm way better off here. So
Speak.
I would honestly go fight for my country any day.
And just to add to that, shout out to my mother who's got Native American blood in her, and she's a mixed breed. Not necessarily is the color a depiction of who we are as a people or what we've been through. Myself growing up in Newburgh, and I was very much a part of my environment and enjoyed it, loved it. I love the people. I love all people, and my family is built of many different cultures, and I embrace it. And my son, he's half Dominican, is a beautiful, creation, and I'm so thankful for him, and I'm thankful for my loved ones and my significant other for putting up with my BS and giving me such a beautiful thing to come home to. I love my son, and when he looks up to me,
Amen, bro.
and he's looking up to me and he's talking to me, whatever he's trying to attempt to tell me, it's one of the greatest feelings ever, and I think that's part of war and preserving what we're able to do as a people.
There you go. Let's give
Give it
it
up
up
for
for
the military.
Give it up. Let's give it up. All right, y'all. That's it for this topic. You guys definitely shared some very deep and insightful things. Thank you very much for that. That was a very beautiful discussion. Up next, everybody, we're gonna get into these grievances and gripes with Relationship Goals Part 2.
Relationship goals.
India, I'm gonna let you lead that one. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into Shy with Flaws. Everybody's one of my favorite songs. It's the theme song for the show. It's a beautiful song. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna love it. Everybody will be back.
Hey man, Uncle Robert, Poet Go, we appreciate your comments. We're seeing them, we acknowledge them. Uncle Rob, definitely, war is big business. Definitely, Poet Go, we definitely got to take care of what's going on at home because there's a lot of domestic terrorism here at home. So we got to take care of that too.
Peace, love.
Social thought, you heard?
All right, y'all. Shies with Flaws. We're gonna take a break and come back after this. More Social Thought. All right.
Nice.
Everyone got
I am a man, just doing the best that I can. Head to the sky as I stand, following the creator's plans. When my time comes to an end, play this for my biggest fan, to let them know I'm far from perfect and refuse to play pretend. I realize there's nothing wrong with having flaws. Surrender all is that acceptance that keeps the weak from the strong. The faster you can embrace them, the faster you can evolve. So hopefully you will right after this song. When I fall hard, and my soul is slipping, soul ascending up. Yeah, yeah. Take your time in your life, you can fly if you try. Oh, yeah. Everyone got flaws. In your life, take your time in your life. You can fly if you try. Everyone got flaws. Shout out my ex for making me realize I had him. The apple in my eye, but she made me feel like an atom. Too small and worthless, too far from perfect. Powerful at my surface, but I lack an assertion. The story of my life won't be written in cursive. No filter from cursing, authored by my greatest version. I finally found a diversion. Plenty of vulnerable verses, having vulnerable verses. I periodically purges. Like, the most obvious fact is I'm not the realest, just a realistic thinker, which is a curse and a privilege. Well, maybe not, cause I admit I never had much confidence. Sometimes I forget praise and being the opposite of optimism. I'm addicted to victimization, got this hidden fixation on seeking validation. I've never been too patient, I know it's a virtue, but it's never too late to learn some lessons. Life ain't got no curfew, being complacent will stunt your growth. Criticism tests that ligament, innocence I wanna be, but I'm not innocent. I call myself a god, I'm not omnipotent, just a simpleton, pains in my eyes. You'd be surprised by what you can hide with a simple tent. Play this for my son or daughter when my time is through. Even if it's not the best music that I produce, I hope that I don't die cause of my pride. I got a lot to do, like killing my ego that got me feeling unstoppable. Don't want my kids to discover my truth themselves like I did. Rather continue carrying my cake than burn their eyelids. But I hope they know that everybody falls and that everyone has flaws. And clouds ain't permanent, y'all gon' shine when the sky clears. I love you. When I fall hard, and my soul is slipping, soul ascending up. Yeah, yeah. Take your time in your life, you can fly if you try. Oh, yeah. Everyone got flaws. In your life, take your time in your life, you can fly if you try. Everyone got flaws. Handle yourself. Handle yourself.
Every day seem to rain, though. It been harder like the tango. So my mom good with chain smoke. And I get high, so I don't say it all. They say they love me, but they hate, though. You sleeping on me, you should stay woke. Won't hesitate to let that thing blow. They feel like they claim, though. This spooky shit is what I claim, though. It's just my bros, me ain't a gang, though. We get to let that thing blow. Quick to give a nigga hello. But see my lawyer got it canceled, yeah. And I'm working on my bankroll. They say it don't make sense how a nigga cop a Bentley, air. Had to make it disappear till it tastes close. When it comes to this fruition, man, it's one of a kind. Find a team who'll do it better, that's harder to find. You on the road, the greatest, baby, just follow the signs. This boogie against the world, we fighting with pride. Who knew they are? And most niggas is fake, you can see it in their eyes. And in the Bible said the devil was a snake up in the sky. So when a nigga say he real, man, he probably really love. Every day it seem to rain, though. It been hard to let the pain go. So my mom could always chain smoke. And I get high so I don't stay low. They say they love me but they hate though. You sleeping on me, you should stay woke. Won't hesitate to let that thing blow. They feel like they claim to. Every day it seems to rain. My heart fill up with pain. Some things will never change. Some things will stay the same now. Yeah. We quick to let it flame. We quick to leave it stay now. I've been going through some things. I've been going through some things now. Yeah. And your girl give me brain. And your girl give me brain now. Yeah. I done made a couple dollars to motherfucking change now. Yeah. Every day it seems to rain, though. It been hard to let the pain go. I've been going through some things. Been going through some things. It will never change. Things will stay the same now.
We back.
We back.
We are.
Welcome back to Social Thought, everybody. I'm your host, Michael. On my left here, I got Mr. Lou in the building. Analyst, Social Thought contributor, comedian. The man is just very, 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 very insightful, very funny, very just an overall incredible person. I want to thank you. Thank you very much. I want to thank you.
I want to thank you.
I sense
You're
a bromance.
definitely coming back for more.
I appreciate that.
Just so you know. Also,
Just so we all know that I think just as highly of him as he does me. So
he's stuttering, so he's lying.
it's a tearjerker. It's a tearjerker, ladies and gentlemen.
Just playing. On my right here, I have India, the beautiful, the talented contributor, Social Thought contributor, co-host now, singer, model, actress, dancer,
baker, bass player, trumpet tuner.
I'm the band, I'm the show, I'm the theater. I am everything and more.
She is the lights.
and I have the prettiest legislator in the Hudson Valley,
What's going on, man?
graduate of Harvard,
Yes.
Giancarlo Barris.
Man.
I love this guy.
You gotta have love for me. You call me
Nobody
the
knows what I do.
prettiest.
But nobody knows what this man actually
Nobody knows
does,
what I
to be
do.
honest with you. Shout out to DJ King Apollo. You already know the main host. Shout out to Dre Macon.
Yes.
Macon Production. Shout out to Robert Montgomery, Bettina Gold Wilkerson, and all of you watching right now. Keep hitting that share button. Keep hitting the like button. You already know tomorrow, if you just want to stream and listen when you're on your way to work, or you are traveling, or you're doing whatever, we're on Spotify. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on all podcast platforms. You can definitely, or you can always just come back onto my live right here. We share it everywhere, all over Facebook and on YouTube now. Social Thought, baby. That's where it's at.
Social Thought, you heard?
5-star podcast of the Hudson Valley.
There you
Yes.
go. Yeah, and that is a fact.
I have to agree.
Real
That is
fact.
an
That's a
actual fact. Now, yeah, that's an actual
It's
fact.
an actual fact. We
That's
got
an actual
rated.
fact.
Yeah, man.
5-star podcast.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. John Carl's going to hit y'all off with how you can send your music to us and what type of business we're
Yes.
trying to do for you.
So for all you entrepreneurs out there who have a clothing line, any type of product that you want to show it off here at the Social Thought, just go to business@thesocialthought.com. That's business@thesocialthought.com, and we are here to advertise your products, especially if you're local in the Hudson Valley area. We definitely want to put a spark, and if you're black-owned, white-owned, brown-owned, it don't matter. We are here for you.
We're here for you.
We're here for you, absolutely. If you're a performer and you have an event or a concert or some type of gig that you're throwing and you want some media access, Social Thought is here for that as well.
Absolutely.
So business at thesocialthought.com
Or Macon Productions.
Productions1@gmail.com. We do provide all services. If you're having a wedding, if you're having a bat mitzvah, a baptism, funeral,
Quinceañera.
business at thesocialthought.com.
DJ King Apollo will be there to mix.
DJ King of
Baby
Apollo.
showers.
You know what I'm saying? You have Mike who does the MCing. You have me that drives everybody because I can't do either.
He's literally our designated driver.
So, we are here to do that as well, man. Definitely ask about the trio, man. We definitely do big things for all of you, and we definitely, again, want to put a spotlight on your city, your town that primarily would not have it if it wasn't for us. So,
your talent.
Thank you.
Yes.
Illuminate.
We illuminate,
absolutely.
man. We illuminate.
Absolutely. All right. So, y'all ready for this?
Let's get into it.
Relationship goals, part 2. We're back on it. All right. So last week, if you all didn't know, we were talking about relationship goals, and India was very, very insightful. Very insightful. Very.
I missed it.
Yay.
You missed it?
If they wasn't there, they missed it.
Oh,
Yeah,
if you
you
wasn't
missed
there,
it.
you
You
definitely
missed
missed it. You can always go back to the previous episode of Social Thought on all podcast platforms and on Facebook here as well and YouTube to hear what India said, because it was very, very beautiful. And she's about to give y'all some more. She's about to hit y'all with some knowledge. We're
India's
about to get into a beautiful conversation right now. So we're talking about relationship goals. So I'm going to start it off with Mr. Luke on our side over here. Sir, what do you envision or believe is a relationship goal?
I mean, I think, in all honesty, a relationship goal is dominantly loyalty, right? And support. Someone that you can count on has got your back even when your back is turned. Crucial. I think, support also another big factor. Someone that's going to, try and push you in a better direction and support you when you fail. And show you that kind of loyalty that, again, when your back is turned, you can count on them to represent you with the utmost integrity and honesty. It's crucial. Open up to your insecurities. If you're insecure about something, speak about it. Don't withhold it. Let it build up. Have you searching through your, partner's phone and all sorts of chaotic, frenzy. Definitely speak on how you feel. Don't hold back. Be real with yourself before you can be real with anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Open up to how you really feel and then express it. If you don't, then you're compromising yourself and probably going to end up in a situation that's going to be hostile, aggressive, or just, not productive in any sense of the word. So.
Yeah. Okay. I have about 5 questions that I was gonna hit on all of those, but I wanted to, of course, how I start every topic. I want to get the others to speak on how they feel about the first question as well. I know you're gonna say a lot.
Relationship. That's why you gotta leave it for last.
I know you're gonna say a lot. Sir, relationship goal. Your thoughts. What is a relationship goal?
Cherry almond Jergens.
Is it a cliche?
Smells
And my
so
left
good.
hand.
Wait,
Well.
that just.
Yeah, that
I
was
wasn't
way.
ready for that.
I wasn't ready for
That's
that
what he was
either.
gonna say. I was like, with you until you said the hand.
Kleenex.
Oh my god.
India,
Is
what
that
is
really
it?
how? Is that how it really
India-
works? So like I'm so intrigued to know.
Need
when
bounty.
you cut off his microphone.
Again, like our brother said, like Lou said, man, relationship goals is definitely having that open communication. I know for me in my relationship, I do not have the most perfect girl in the world, but I definitely have a girl of purpose, and I think that overweighs what perfection is. Because for me, for the longest time, I had a lot of high standards. You know what I'm saying? I lived to a certain standard, and that's how it was going to be for me. But once I bumped into my girlfriend, I understood that, no, she's not perfect, but she has a lot of purpose. And when you find somebody who has a lot of purpose, that beats perfection. Because when you think you're already perfect, you have nothing to strive for. See, my girl is a girl of purpose, and she knows what she wants. And she's striving for that, despite the lot of obstacles that she goes through on a daily basis. So for me, that's something that I admire. That's something that I love about her. That's something that definitely motivates me. That she's a person of purpose and that she pushes me to find my purpose. And so for me, I think that's really, really crucial, making sure that you are a person of purpose, so that you can motivate others to be of purpose or to find what their purpose is. Making sure that you definitely communicate, even if you disagree. Have those fights. You know what I'm saying? Have those
always
fights.
keep an open line of communication.
Have
What was
those-
the? Oh my
Important to
goodness! What
argue.
was
It
the
is.
most beautiful thing you said that one time on the show? You said communication and understanding.
Yeah,
Or something
yeah,
like
yeah.
Yeah.
Because we can, for example, Lewis, I would say you would be a Trump supporter, and I'm not, right? We can disagree. That doesn't mean I dislike him, and that doesn't mean that.
First of all, he never directly came out and said that he
I
was.
can assume. I said I
I
assume.
said I was.
I said I assume. I assume. I assume. And so, or for anyone for that matter who disagrees with you, doesn't mean you're supposed to dislike them,
Right.
or that you shouldn't take the time to understand them. I think when it comes to different points of views, you'll take the time to understand that person. This is the person who is the most intimate to you.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to take the time to understand the most intimate person, then you're not going to succeed in life at all, because then you have no emotional intelligence. You can't succeed that way.
Yeah, I
in any
believe
type
that.
of relationship, in society, period.
Yeah.
You can't exist.
Indeed. All I'm saying is that I believe that I have a beautiful communication with someone. Okay, I believe that I am able to be open and talk to them
See, this
about
is times where I feel like
anything.
we just need to
About
switch spots.
anything. You think it's about you?
Oh, it's not?
Alright, anyway.
So
Like,
what
who
other
is
girl
it
you
about?
got? No, I'm saying.
Like, who is it about?
Anyway, go ahead.
No, see.
We ain't saying nothing.
I want to know. No, just
No,
like,
no face, no case.
like I said last.
No name, no.
No.
What goes with that?
No.
I'm trying to
I don't
figure out where you were going with it.
No name, no drama. I don't know.
All right.
Here we go.
So, like I said, my relationship goal last week. Of course, I don't remember verbatim what I said because I usually just speak. But transparency within communication. Loyalty, honesty, love, support. All of what they said. It's just definitely like I was going off of the end of the conversation that we had before in regards to like cheating or whatever may fall in a relationship. When it comes to those feelings, when it comes to like the guy, what was his name, Joe, was saying about sitting down and writing down those lists, like compromising. I mean, at the end of the day, there's not one person not two people on this world that are exactly the same and gonna view things exactly the same.
Perception.
So
Beautiful
you need to
thing.
be open to compromise. You need to be open to letting your ego and your pride subside so that you can sit there and open up your heart and be able to have that other person and see their needs before yours. I feel like when you don't do that, in a sense, you're kind of cheating yourself because it's like you want someone to match what you're giving. So, give what you want to get back from someone else.
Absolutely, and I think that's the biggest thing in relationship and is selfishness. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be able to give 100% to. You want to give 100% to the person, but you shouldn't give 100% to the person because that person should also care about your needs as well as you would care about theirs. You know what I mean? So,
I think I would disagree, but I think my girlfriend's happiness should be her own. You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't count on me to give you all the happiness.
Yeah, and that's
right.
Not all.
That's pretty
Not
much what I was
all.
saying. That's why
Right.
we in a sense want to give our 100%, but we shouldn't give our 100% because again, that other person should then 50-50 at the end of the day.
Sure.
I just said, like, last night I was just having a conversation with a good friend, and I was saying, I was like, in my past situations, I've noticed that I will go above and beyond and end up giving my all, and in the process of giving your all, especially when the person's not reciprocating, you lose yourself.
Absolutely.
And you allow them to take your light, you allow them to take your shine, and then at the end of the day, it's like, oh, I'm drained. And now I have nothing left to give, and I have nothing that I'm receiving to be able to even partially fill my tank. So you can't give 100%. It's called 50-50 for a reason. Give me half, I'll give you half.
Right. Let's see how it
I think
works
it's
out.
important to remember that, during all that, we got to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, you can't get caught up in a scenario where you end up in a relationship with somebody or whatever you want to call it, and then you become a recluse, right? People that you used to, speak with go out with.
Mm-hmm.
Now you lose touch with that. You become a recluse, and all of a sudden you stop doing those routines that you were doing that was beneficial to your personal growth.
So you're saying that when, so say for example, you hanging out with your homies all the time, you get into this relationship, and now that you're in this relationship, now you have to
You completely cut the homies
cut
off.
the homies off because
Not cool.
Okay.
Not cool, because part of the reason why that person that you fell for was feeling you was because you were putting that effort into yourself, right? Right? You were taking care of yourself.
Go ahead, bro.
You were upholding yourself in a position that, like, damn, that man is or that woman is holding it down. They are put together. They're taking care of themselves. They are making stuff happen. That's part of the stuff that makes us attractive to our counterparts, right? Is being successful in our individualism. So, furthermore, we have to remember that.
Being successful in our individualism. I like that.
Yeah. I think that's
really
important
That's right.
to remember, because that's what
Sage.
the laws of attraction, right? You want to attract your partner to you.
Right.
Even though you can't become complacent and stop attracting your partner to you.
Come on, sir.
Right?
Come on, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
What's the saying?
Right?
Don't stop doing what you did to get the girl once you got her.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the
Exactly.
whole
I think
thing.
that's something that we have to remember as men.
Wait.
Because men become somewhat complacent and
Absolutely.
comfortable.
100%.
We love being spoiled and
Absolutely.
fed.
Yeah.
And when we get spoiled and fed, we get fat. All right? And when we get fat, we get lazy. And when we get lazy, we stop taking care of oneself. So we have to remember that we can't get lazy. And we got to stay on top of our game and keep nourishing our minds and nourishing our bodies that attracted our partner to us to begin with.
Absolutely.
And have a sense of humor, man. I think it's you got to have fun in your relationships
Yeah.
too. Not to take it always so seriously 100% of the time. Have some fun too.
Have
Have
fun.
some fun.
I would
And let
never
go.
be able to date somebody.
Yeah,
without
be able to
sense
let
of
go.
humor.
I
Be
agree.
easy.
Yeah, be easy.
Let your partner chill and go do them.
Absolutely.
As long as
Yes.
your partner respects you,
Right.
Yes.
Exactly,
then
man.
you gotta let go.
Jeez.
And
Let go,
because
man.
that is, like I said, when we're talking about attracting our counterpart, you're getting jealous, or you're getting nervous, you're getting anxious, and you're pushing your counterpart away. So, and then there's always some sleazeball out there that's gonna be trying to slide into your girl's DM
Let him do
or
it.
trying to talk sensual to your girl.
Yeah.
Bear that in mind as you are going through your day and you want to retain that sort of relationship. That there's always some slithery snake who's trying to.
Yeah,
Especially around the same time that you become complacent and,
And
that
how
you're
do
not
you
doing
guys
what you're
feel
supposed to be
about
doing.
Come on.
restrictions like that? How do you feel about?
I don't think there should ever be restrictions. Like I mean, I'm sure there's probably like 20 girls, 20 men and women in my girls' inbox that I don't know about, right? But I feel if you start to restrict, it's like having a bird in the cage for too long. Once you let it out, it's not going to come back to the cage.
Do you believe that person should have the mental capacity to say, "No, I'm with someone"? And I
Yeah,
love that person.
Absolutely.
You set your own
Absolutely.
restrictions.
Absolutely. You set your
When
own.
you don't
you
say
set your
anything
own.
at all,
Yeah,
or
I
when
agree.
you sit there and you
I
do
agree.
speak with them, you're entertaining it.
And do you?
Which
That's
is
very
like
important.
that's you setting the play.
That's very important.
You feel like that person wants you to be the one to say that though, to establish that type of restriction or to lay down that law?
I think each
Do you
party
think
does.
that's just how society is built today, where it's like people are gonna be in my DMs, but you know what? I want my man or I want my girl to say, nah, don't be talking to my man, don't be talking to my girl, blah blah blah. Do you feel like that person wants that?
Because everybody wants
Hate
reassurance.
that.
Of course.
I think everybody
I
wants
hate that.
reassurance, but I think you have to be secure in your own self to know. You know what I'm saying?
Security is important.
No matter who comes to me, it's like it don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like
if
I
my
would
girl
get that.
cheats on me tomorrow, I'm okay because I know who I am.
Right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
valid.
And the same vice
You
versa.
don't like guys don't.
I
You
wanna-
guys
I
don't
wanna
get
hear
that.
this.
You
I
guys
wanna-
don't get that.
Mhm.
Like I'm telling you right now, for every dude that's in my DM that I have not spoken to, I have probably like 3 females for each of them that are like, "Are you talking to my man?" You're not gonna get many guys that are gonna be in your DM like, "Don't talk to my shorty, she's spoken for." You're not gonna get that. We get a lot of females will go directly to the next female instead of going to the man, whether it be because he a liar, he a cheater, or you personally just insecure.
Right.
I don't want your man. I want to be number 1, not number 2 or 3 or 4, however many he's got. But that is so quick. Y'all don't have to deal with that. But I would say this: as far as DMs and stuff, I got this. And any man that I deal with, that I would deal with in the future, he's gonna know that. Nobody's gonna be able to feel comfortable enough to hit me up at an unwanted hour or come at me in a salacious way. You're not gonna feel that comfortable to talk to me like that because you know I got somebody, and I'll cuss you behind right out. But if I'm out and about and I'm with my man, and say you go to the bar to grab me a drink, or you go to the thing to buy another game for bowling, or you buying the popcorn for the movies, and a dude approaches me before I get to say something, if you with me, you better speak up. Let him know. Piss on your tree. This is the only time you get a chance to do that.
Is entertainment with no action acceptable?
Entertainment with no
Heck
action.
no.
Elaborate a little bit.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
not.
Entertainment with no action. So
That's setting up the play.
if you're entertaining someone, but you're not acting on it, right?
It is not
It's just
okay.
It's just entertainment.
It is not okay. You want to
becomes
know why it's
psychological
not
warfare.
okay?
Because it's attention. You're seeking some type of attention. So what are you lacking? Right? So now, but before we get into that, hold on. But before we get into that, entertainment with no action, do you feel like that is acceptable?
No,
I would say
absolutely not.
I would say words hold a lot of value, and we have to be careful of the language that we use. I know I fall into that plenty of times.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I'm a flirt. You know what I'm saying? And I do it subconsciously. I'm just that type of a person. And I've learned through my relationship with my purposeful person is that you gotta be careful with the language you're using, because the language that you're using, even though your intention is to be friendly, right? To that other person,
there's a point of being too friendly.
There's a point where that she may find that disrespectful. So I think that also comes in being able to understand the love language of your partner, and understand, okay, for her it's language. So I got to be careful what I say around other female friends, other people in general, because I have to make sure that she's respected. In the same way, it's hers the same way. She has to understand my love language, and what I feel is a certain line that needs to not happen.
I don't care if your love language is Pig Latin, if your love language is Spanish, English, slang. I don't care if it's German. Entertaining without action is nothing but a play. It's in the playbook. It's methodical thinking. Like, I'm going to go and I'm going to respond back to this person that I know that's interested in me. There's nothing platonic in the way that they're speaking to me. Anything that could go, if we was to be around each other, would escalate and put me in a messed up position with what I'm dealing with.
Right.
You're in a relationship, you want to entertain others, you should be single.
Right.
And entertain them that way. Don't entertain, because at the end of the day, in the same sense, it's not just, between the two of y'all and disrespect, but that other person looking at you like, oh, well, your man or your shorty don't care about you.
Right.
Oh, I got the green light.
Right. I got
So
the green light and you're
I
here.
could sashay past him and say what I want, or you bugging. People will take what you say, especially with the texting. Oh, Lord.
And I'm going to be in your phone after hours.
Okay.
And homeboy is going to be okay with it. Right? Or we're talking about language, we're talking about body language as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're interacting with other people. We can't be all, how's it going? You know what I'm saying? You gotta be a little bit more reserved when you are in a relationship. You can't be all outwardly touchy-feely. It's really weird.
That was tough for me, because I was single for a long time before getting into a relationship. And so for me, that's just how I be. Like, I've been like that for my whole life. And so it wasn't until like it came, from the outside looking at me like, yeah, you just calm down. What are you talking about? This is who I am. Until you come to the understanding that it's a teamwork thing.
Well, that might be a misinterpretation of charisma.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Or how you're expressing your charisma.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And how you've trained yourself to express your charisma.
Right.
But I think when you're a man and you have a woman and you're satisfying that woman, and we all know what I'm speaking about, right? Because we all know.
I got the shrimp.
And we're not even going to go into detail, but we all know and we have a feeling of genuine, consensual satisfaction, right?
Yes.
You're having that physical interaction with your partner, and y'all both are exasperated, and y'all both know that y'all felt that. it was real. It was lit. It was legit, right?
The mission
Once
has
you
been
create that
completed.
bond with somebody and that's your partner, then at the end of the day, you need to reflect on your actions with other people and make sure that you're not giving a wrong idea.
Yeah.
It's important because your partner may feel some sort of underlying animosity in regard to something, but that's where
Now,
the
again, it's,
communication comes into
communication, understanding. Again, back to that 100 to 50 percentile range of you and your partner. Now, do you completely mold yourself to,
No.
Okay.
Absolutely. Remember I said we want to maintain oneself, right?
You got to maintain yourself.
But at the same time, when we were oneself,
does Mr. Personality then go to the wayside because you want to protect the feelings of your
Absolutely
partner?
not. I think there's degrees to it. Like there's levels to it.
Compromise.
You kind of have to understand the room in a sense.
Exactly.
For example, me in politics, I have to understand who I'm speaking to. If I'm talking to my community of people, or if I'm talking to someone outside of it, my voice changes, the way I speak changes, I code switch.
Right.
And the same thing you kind of have to do in a relationship. You don't have to eradicate what you do. You just have to maneuver in a way and shift it that is still pleasing to everybody else without taking yourself out of it.
Let's call it the MacGyver.
Let's call it.
MacGyver.
I go with that.
It's a matter of reflecting on one's actions prior to enacting one's actions.
Yeah.
Who am I going to rub the wrong or right way by doing this before I do it? And that's a matter of self-control.
Right.
So if your partner doesn't have self-control and they don't have self-respect, because if they don't respect themselves enough, they're not going to respect you enough. Right?
That's a whole fact.
Well, what happens when we throw in the factor of mental health into one respecting themselves?
That
Plays
certainly
a
plays a part.
Okay. So now, someone who is, it's absolutely. I didn't want to say broken, but insecure, and their past experience, right? How does that play into the factor of respecting themselves in a new relationship or in a relationship in general?
So I'll say this: it is definitely very, very hard once you have become an adult, and especially for a woman, once you have reached that point where you have stopped allowing society, anything you were told when you were younger growing up, bother you to the point where now it's like, all right, I'm over it. I'm just going to be confident. I am who I am. I love me. And you're just radiating with this love for yourself.
Absolutely.
And this confidence. And then you get into a situation and everything that you've loved about yourself, you would hope that they take consideration and realize that and observe the love that you have for yourself and love it as well. And then you'll get in a situation where that person will be, deceitful, lying, they will break your character, they mess you up, so then you end up scarred from that previous relationship. Getting out of that and recouping yourself is the most hardest thing that you could possibly do, because even if you aren't a person of mental health, it then turns into someone with mental health issues, because you're sitting there, you're depressed, you're stressed out, you don't know what's up from down, left from right, and you're trying to figure out everything for yourself, but it's that someone else beats you down, your character down. And I hate to say it, and it's definitely all about yourself. It definitely is. Spiritually, if you are religious, then you know what, go and result over to whoever it is that you deal with spiritually. Me, like I said before, it would be God. I'd pray, I'd go to church, and I'd try to get it together. But there's still that tiny little inkling where it's like you need some type of verification from another person to let you know that you are completely and utterly loved, accepted. You're right, but you should not be dependent on that other person
that's what I was
to
gonna
make
ask
that
you.
happen.
That's what
I'm not going to depend.
How far does that go?
It goes very slightly. I'm very, long story short, had a bad relationship that I spoke about before. And I'm still currently in the midst of, maneuvering back to the bright, radiant person that I once was before I got with him. But now it's like, okay, I'm ready to date. I'm going to go out and I'm going to date. And it's like, I don't know. I feel sometimes I'm like, you seem like you might be a player, but do I feel like that because of my last situation? Are you completely satisfied with me? Like, do you like, why am I questioning myself so daggone much about something I know I am? I need to take that and be like, you know, whatever. All I need is that when we're together, if we're together, whoever I'm with, I need you to make sure that you let me know that you're satisfied with me. Because a lot of people do end up in relationships with people that aren't satisfied with you, and then they go out and they do everything that they do because they lied and they fronted and thought that they were satisfied with you, but they not.
Yeah, I mean, you can't lie to yourself. Most importantly, like, if you're not satisfied, if you don't really feel those vibes with that person, get out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, if you have a partner that has a psychological, I don't want to say problem or issue,
challenge.
They are challenged in a way that needs certain attention, and you love that person, well then, my friend, show love.
But what about the idea of a type and being attracted to that type of person? What if you continuously...
Oh, like being like Captain... Like,
yeah.
You're trying to be like Captain Save Everybody?
Mr. Save or something.
I don't...
You know what I'm saying? What if you are attracted to that type of person? It's like, oh my goodness.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You know,
There's nothing
I
wrong
like
with
to...
that.
I always want to be able to save somebody. Or I always like a broken person because I feel like I'm safer if I'm speaking with somebody.
That's an insecurity in itself.
That's self-reflection, right?
You saying that's
we're insecure.
Yeah, that's an insecurity in itself. Like I need to feel better about myself by helping you succeed, so I don't have to think about my problems.
So it's you're truly not. It's not gonna work.
And a lot of people who try to do that, who try to rebuild others, is because they don't know how to rebuild themselves.
Yeah.
So they're going after people who are broken to find ways to fix themselves. They're trying to find a way because they can't do it by themselves. Absolutely. And so they find this broken person to fix up, and then they leave.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and then they leave. That's what we come back to, right? They leave. So.
Do they always leave though? I feel like they don't always leave. I feel like when you're a lot of people, because I used to be a super saver hoe, and I know that my thing was I was just so hopeful, so hopeful. I dated a lot of men that were incarcerated. Unfortunately, not a lot of men, but I've had 2 serious relationships with men that were incarcerated, and when they're in that situation, it's like everything that's coming out, it's like everything you've ever wanted to hear. And you just want to be so hopeful that that man that you first fell in love with, that you first met, is going to be the man that you are now saying that you want to transform and rehabilitate yourself to be. And then you come home and real life hits.
Right.
And it's like you lying.
A lot of brothers that are incarcerated are lonely.
Yeah.
I mean, they're lonely and they're around a bunch of dudes.
Right.
So
right.
A woman is going to reach out to them. That gives them comfort. All right. Brothers need comfort. We're always looking for comfort. Whether we're incarcerated or we're on the street. Right? So we got a woman that's going to be humble to us, show us love, send us kites.
Right.
At the end of the day, that's a good feeling when you
he said kite.
He said kite. I was doing good. I was like, oh, he said
kite. We got some people up north.
Oh, that's a type of comfort to an individual that's incarcerated, and the streets have a way of calling people back.
Absolutely.
So if you were incarcerated, and let's be real, like if you're up top, up north. It's like the streets times 4, right? For a brother that's incarcerated, right? So, I mean, you've got to hold your own. I mean, it's probably a struggle most of the time. You know what I mean? You've got to fight, defend your own, and prove every single day. And somebody's always going to try to test you and try to question your integrity as a man most of the time. Because, I've never been, incarcerated on did a long bid or anything like that, but I definitely have some connections with some people that have been, and when you get lonely and you're in that type of scenario, that love that's being shown to you, it may even be a real feeling at a time because you're getting that relief
at a time, but then real life hits.
But once you get back to the streets,
everything changes. But in a sense, what I was saying though, as from taking it from the super saver hoe factor, I was him. I was super saver hoe, and I wasn't saying it to do it to leave or to make myself feel better, but just to being hopeful.
Right.
That I could, because you know, they'll, once again, back to relationship goals
Right.
and how people put on Facebook and social media like, oh, why can't a woman ever be with a man while he's down and help him build himself? Because when we build you up, you didn't sit there and come to life like Pinocchio and your nose just grow and grow and you get to walking and to stepping and you forget how you got to where you at. And then you don't take care of home like home took care of you. And that is the issue for some super save a hoe situations. You just want to be hopeful and you don't want to ever discredit anybody for what they've done in the past or what they're in the situation that they're in now. You want to believe the person that they're telling you that they are, that they really are. So you want to help them to reach that point. But at some points you got to become a little bit mindful and observant, like, hold up.
Right.
It's about time. The clock is up, brother. Like, this is not real. This is not happening. You have to notice that yourself. You can't sit there and become so dumb and so love-struck that you forget, like, hey, there was a purpose to this. He thought that we were doing something with a purpose, and now there's nothing at all.
If somebody truly doesn't grow, right, within oneself, they're going to repeat behaviors throughout the years.
Absolutely.
And they're going to unintentionally do so. You know, there's a lot of brothers out there that end up continuously getting incarcerated because they just continuously can't get away from the streets and they continuously do the same repetitious behavior because they don't know any better. And that, I think, as a people, we should try to utilize our visions of what people do in their past to try to assess what they're going to do in their future, because most of the time...
Where you was at 2.5 years ago, honey? Speak that. Where he was at 2.5 years ago? I wish somebody would say something to me then. I'm telling you.
It's very important.
Listen.
9 times out of 10, the behaviors will repeat.
But on the flip side, I've seen situations with females that sit there and want to be the one that's saved. You don't want to do a daggone thing after you get saved. You don't want to grow. You don't want to be better. You just want to sit there. You want to be a bum. That's all you want to do.
What happens when you get comfortable?
You lose.
Completely.
You lose.
Completely.
You lose when you get comfortable.
You should never be comfortable. We ain't in paradise.
In my past relationships, in the times that I've
gotten
gotten comfortable, things have dwindled. You know, arguments got worse. You know, they become more frequent. You know, for at least for me, I always like chasing. I always love chasing.
Right.
And for once I got the chase, once I got there, I was like, all right.
But being with that person for so many years, again, getting comfortable.
Yeah.
The arguments, you're not intimate anymore.
Sure.
You're just there. You're complacent.
That's where fun
How
comes
do you
into
walk
place.
away when you're so used to something that how do you break that
when
routine?
You become complacent, right? Everything outside of complacency looks great, even if it's bad for you.
Ooh.
You understand what I'm
Like
saying?
that.
So, when you're comfortable, you say, let's say I'm with my partner, be like, yo, my girl not doing this. But I go out on a Friday night with the homies, and I see a girl who could do that. I'm like, I may just have to do some changes, right? And so you go for the 80-20 rule, right? Or the grass is greener on the other side. And we forget that it's not always like that. For my girl right now, you know what I'm saying? I can look at another girl and be attracted to another girl. I can do that all day, right? But I have to understand that what I have back home, this is a girl who has been with me for about 6 months now, 7, and has gone through the grit with me in every stage. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you're willing to go for that grit with me, even if you can do what she can't.
Who was the temple built with?
Exactly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Who was with me?
But is that a sense of comfortability though? Do you think that because
of course, I want to be comfortable to know that my purposeful partner is going to be there in the trenches with me.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna bounce at the minute that there's a struggle or that I do something wrong and we can't argue about it, then I can't be with you. I know that you won't fight. I need somebody who can fight.
Okay.
Comfortability is not a bad thing when it comes to relying on your
right.
counterpart.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
Sure. You should be comfortable.
Should be comfortable, but should be ensuring that comfortability, though.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like, yes.
Absolutely.
Both, absolutely. But also to be able to, when changes do happen and comfort starts stepping in, try to switch it up and do something exciting. You know what I'm saying? Do something different.
Right.
Because I think a lot of relationships is about sharing your experience with somebody else who hasn't.
Right.
So, there are certain things that my girlfriend hasn't experienced that I have that I can share with her. And there are certain things that she has gone through that I've never gone through that she can share with me. And that's where love can get even deeper at that point.
Right.
Now you're sharing your life experience with me.
Right.
And that's completely different. And I think we need to start doing more of that.
Yeah, you
And
gotta
take
get
the
those
risk.
extra activities.
Yeah,
Do
extracurriculars,
stuff with
man.
your loved one,
Yeah,
man.
get extracurriculars,
Don't let it get
man.
stagnant.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
All
Show
the
love. Go
time.
camping.
Yeah.
You know
Even
what I'm
if
saying?
All the time.
Go
And a
to
lot
an
of time
indoor water park.
Yeah, and a lot of times it doesn't have to deal with money. It doesn't have to deal with money. You know what I'm saying? I know for me, I'm somewhat materialistic. I like having money. I like spending it. Right? And in the times where like, damn, you know what? I don't got it. I can't take her out. I feel a certain way as a man. But then I realized like, yo, we can go up to a trail. My girlfriend's a yoga instructor. She's really artsy. She's a person who loves being in nature. I'm like, yo, let's go to Mount Beacon. I can't climb that shit, but I'll try. I'll definitely try.
That's a good thing.
And it'll be fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's a bonding process. So I think being able to be comfort, but then being able to understand that I need to be taking out my comfort zone so I can comfort her.
Right, because there's going to be certain things that she likes to do that you might not like to do.
Yeah. Because like my
That's
girlfriend and I have two different types of friends. We grew up in a different area. You know what I'm saying? I grew up more in the urban area. She grew up more, middle class, upper middle class. The white section of town, right? And so, when I'm around her friends, it's like, damn, I don't know what I'm doing here, all right? But I take the time to talk to them and chill with them, and you find out they're cool as hell.
Yeah.
You just gotta warm up to it.
Yeah.
And the same vice versa. So I think that we should be able to do that. Take risks with our partners, not against them.
Get extracurricular with your partner.
Yeah, man, do something. Man.
Open up, do something different. Whatever it is,
Yeah,
whether it's a walk on a trail or sitting down watching a movie together at the house on the couch.
Absolutely.
Those sometimes are the best moments.
Lazy
Speak
days are
on
good
it.
days.
I seen a picture once, and it's funny because it was called Relationship Goals, and it was a meme, and it was portrayed as this guy had set up this nice little like sip and paint in the house, and like some food and like wine or whatever, and it's like realistically, let's really think about this. $30 most you spent on this whole entire thing.
Yeah.
That would mean like priceless to her. You know what I mean?
Right.
And making sure that you're vocal deep into the relationship once you start feeling that you're getting complacent or comfortable on either sides, and being like, hey, listen, that you used to do, you ain't doing no more.
Right.
Yeah.
What happened?
That had me intrigued, babe. What's going on? Like,
Right.
let's get it popping again. Like, that's an easy way to just, kind of go right back. But the more you hold it in, you don't say nothing because y'all are sitting there. You don't want to offend nobody. Y'all in a relationship. If I can't tell you, listen, I can see your track. If you don't get it together, you can't tell me that and in public because you think you're going to hurt my feelings.
Right.
How you think I'm going to feel later on
Your
when I
breath
see you
stank.
that? Okay?
Yeah, you
Yes.
need that brutal. You need that.
No, you do.
I need
Breath
that.
stank,
And I would
babe.
expect the
Yeah.
person
I
that I'm in a
respect you.
relationship
You have
to
be
tell
able
me
to-
that.
to
Please.
be able to say these things to
Yeah.
Here we go. Ready?
If I may, real quick,
Oh,
I
yeah,
had
go.
some of the best food just chilling at home with my girl.
Yeah.
Arroz con pollo,
Mm-hmm.
delicious, man. Habichuela con dulce.
Oh my God! He's Dominican. He's Dominican, man. He's
He know what
Dominican.
he's hitting
He's
for.
Dominican.
Chicharron.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
he's
love
It goes
chicharron.
down.
He's
I
Dominican.
love
Spend
me
time
some
with your
chicharron.
partner, show
He's
love.
Next
eat
time
good
you come,
food,
you're obligated to
drink
bring
good
some.
spirits.
Yes.
Enjoy each
Yo,
other's
cook
company.
for absolutely cook for one another, man.
Yeah.
I think there's
Yes.
nothing more beautiful than than those type of settings, man. Just
Shoot,
being
I
able to
made
cook
fish
for
and
each other.
grits this morning.
You know what I'm saying? Dinner and a movie, man.
Yeah,
Banging.
You know what I'm saying?
When I get back home and I'm with my mom and my mom cooks some stuff, I'm like, I love my mom's cooking, but damn, I love when my girl's cooking.
Yeah.
Like, I love my mom's cooking, but like at the same time, I mean, you get so used to your partner's cooking or whatever, and if it's really good cooking and you enjoy that, then
Enjoy it,
it's
absolutely.
absolutely. It's a staple.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Good food equates to good times, I think.
I
agree.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
Buffalo Wild
Oh.
Wings. Buffalo Wild
You
Wings.
ready?
Yeah,
Nasty.
B-Dubs.
Buffalo
Nasty.
Wild
No
Wings.
doubt. Yeah, B-Dubs is
You know what I'm
definitely
saying?
sit up
I
there on
can't
the list.
Yeah.
I mean,
stand
you know,
some
maybe not
spots.
going on a date, but you know, with your
but we
boys.
chill.
You know?
Like,
You
at
go
least
on a date with your boys.
yeah,
you know?
nah, seriously, you have like
Y'all
guys
go on
nights.
dates with me?
We got guys nights. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just-
I'm one of the guys.
Tuesday
You
nights
want-
at B-Dubs is buy one, get one free.
Yeah.
Buy one get
Buy
one.
one,
free.
get one free.
Buy what one get one? free?
Any platter of wings.
Platter of wings.
Get a
Buy
wing.
one, you get one
A
free.
I
wing.
thought it was 50-cent wings that night.
That's
Mm.
boneless.
Well,
I
you
mean,
know what?
we're not
Even though
endorsed
they're
by Buffalo
local,
Wild
they're
Wings.
not a local business, so we're not gonna
Right,
support them. They ain't giving us a discount.
But nonetheless, it's important to really be able to just live it up with friends, man. Life is short to begin with.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And to not live it up with friends, man. You're not gonna, even if you're a millionaire, you're not gonna take your money with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So live it up as much as you can.
You
Have
could,
fun
you
as
ain't
much
gotta
as
do
you
nothing with
can.
it.
Are there any limitations to being with your friends and having your significant other there? Is there any type of limitations, or do we say, you know what,
I'm a whole girl. Remember that.
you know what,
She gonna say yeah.
I like you hanging out with your friends, but
But
you know, I don't need to be around your friends all the time. Why your boys always here all the time?
right.
Absolutely.
There's a place and time for everything.
Why,
I think there's a certain.
why you always out with your girls? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, is
Yeah.
there some type of limitation? Do we have to say, you know, for six days out the week, 6 days out of the 7 days out the week, you with me. Your seventh day, you could be with your boys. So is there?
There's gotta be more
Tell
balance.
me
There's
something.
gotta be more
no,
I'm
balance.
just saying. Tell me the
Chill,
limitation.
wait a
I'm just
second,
throwing
wait a
anything
second.
out right now.
I'll say this. So back in the day,
Mhm.
I was like the single friend. I'm the single friend that has no kids.
The
All
third
my-
wheel.
Huh?
The third wheel.
No, I'm never the third wheel.
Oh, okay.
I make everything fun, and it's crazy. But some of my friends, a lot of my friends, some of y'all still, hi friends, hi their boyfriends. They don't like them to hang out with me because they're like, this is India, the socialite, the single, no kids having best friend. What's she getting into? I don't want you to get into it with her. And it's like, I don't get into nothing. Like, I just have a really great time. But I know so many people, so it makes it awkward because then there'll be like a whole bunch of people around us. And then guys don't like that. So I understand that. But like, me, when I was in a relationship, okay, we're not going to use that one. But, but I would say this. I think it's an even amount having them around each other, though. Like, I don't feel too comfortable having too many of my female friends around my man, just because
Women are trifling.
it's just, it can get a little fuzzy.
It can get maniacal.
It could get really fuzzy. Like,
Right.
you can start hanging out. Like, you can hang out with me, my man, and say my homegirl comes over and she just happens to come over all the time. Y'all get to know each other. You start, like,
And then
liking
she-
each other as
yeah.
friends and
And
bonding.
then one day she got half the booty out.
You know what I mean? And then it's like, this is a little mixy. Like, this is a little mixy. Or, in a lot of cases, a lot more than none. I mean, both ends of the spectrum, female or male, can be a little sneaky. But I tell you no lie, I've had more guys in my DM that are friends with my exes at the time that I was with them, or even like right after we broke up. That's like,
There's no
terrible.
loyalty,
you deserve
man.
That's
so
terrible.
much
Oh,
better.
yeah,
That's terrible.
You
bro.
deserve so much better.
That-
Why
that-
don't you come
you
be with
violate
a
bro
real?
code. You can't
like,
do that, man.
Well,
And
that's
I'm
not-
like,
that's
y'all
not bro.
bugging.
That's
That's
not
not a
bro.
bro.
No,
That's
it's not a
bro.
That's
bro.
where you gotta
And
overstand.
then you say something like, listen, I don't think you need to be hanging out with old boy no more. Like, you don't want to start no craziness. I'm like, listen, he just said something, made me feel a little uncomfortable. I just don't think you need to be around. Then you got to tell, well, he tried to holler at me. Oh, well, what did you do? Like, no, you need to handle that over there. That's your friend. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say, does your
So-
man need to address that ASAP?
He does.
immediately.
Yeah.
Because he will get
Do you
chin
feel
checked.
like we make up too many excuses for our people?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'd agree.
Absolutely.
People are going to do you dirty. It is a
Yeah, bro.
guarantee.
It's a guarantee.
It is a guarantee.
So we
That's
make up
why
too
we
many
get back to
excuses
keep
for
your
our
circle
boys?
tight, right? You got to keep your circle tight. You got to constantly examine, re-examine, and reboot.
What's the bro you grow up with almost 20 years or so?
The brother might have gotten involved in drugs or whatever, some have an altered mind state at now, currently.
That's
You
the
know
only
what I'm saying?
excuse. My boy's on
Right?
drugs. That's why he talking like that.
Right?
Listen.
Gotta be.
He's
I don't
tripping.
care what. And
He's
if
tripping.
he's on drugs, then you don't need to be around him. He need
That's
to
the
go to
only
rehab.
way he could be
need to go
acting
to
this
rehab.
way.
Everybody
After knowing
knows
him
he
for
needs to
this
go to
long.
rehab.
She always tripping. I agree.
No,
I
then
agree.
he needs to go to rehab. You shouldn't be around him. He ain't positive to this lifestyle anyway we building. I
Speaking about rehab, support your friends. If you know your friend has some sort of addiction problem or something like that, reach out, speak to them, let them know you care. Okay, if your friend has an addiction problem or someone you love, someone that's close to you, let them know. Our brothers and sisters need help out here. It's an opioid crisis, and people are going down the tubes. We need to support our family and friends.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And
I'm gonna start putting like every time you do a sidebar, there's a PSA.
That would be fire.
but he has a point. And also, Social Thought does a lot of good things. Tries to do a lot of good things with mental health, especially when it comes to the black community and the brown community. Please, especially men, reach out to us, man. Inbox myself, Mike. Some of us here on the show.
I need a therapist.
We want to help you. We rather hear about your complaints than your eulogies, and we want to be there for you. We're not just a podcast just for entertainment. We educate and we entertain. We're edutainment, but we also want to help the community, and we try to do it the best way possible.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Now, got 19 minutes left in the show, and this is probably going to take us
a good 19, if not more.
It's
but
good.
all right.
Take us 19. Can you come back from cheating?
I think so. I think so. I think a person can. I'm a big believer on second chances.
I'm gonna ask that at the 30-minute mark, but
I'm a big believer on second chances. I think that when a person says, okay, you know what, I know first they got to be accountable for it. They can't make it an excuse for it. Like, oh, I cheated because this. No, bro. Cheat. Period.
That's
it.
it.
That's it. There is no other excuse for that. I think once you're able to do that first, and then you're be able to take time to reflect for yourself. Like, why'd you do that, bro? There's got to be something wrong with you. Did you not communicate directly to your partner that you had these issues? There's something there. So once you do those two steps, I think you got to follow that up with some action. You know what I'm saying? Not that you got to be kissing that person's feet, but you have to start now understanding that, okay, I hurt this person. I know what I did. How can I fix it? Have that conversation. Like, I want to fix this. How do I do that? I know I got issues. I'm working on my issues, but how can I help you feel more comfortable?
As easy as
with me?
that conversation, though, man.
It's not an easy conversation.
Because you gotta remember,
they were hurt.
They were hurt. Yeah, absolutely.
They were hurt.
Always gonna,
and
in
I think
the back of their mind,
absolutely,
again,
crazy,
that routine is broken when
you're
not around them.
But then you got to break those habits.
Right.
You got to break those habits. Right. Whatever that routine.
But how do you allow that person to trust you again? That's
through action.
Y'all are so funny right now.
Right.
I'm sorry. No, cut. Y'all are so funny right now.
She's not gonna cut me on my show.
Y'all are hilarious.
You just got here.
Hilarious right now. The question was, can you come back from cheating? Right.
I think so.
So. And I knew.
A big no
The
from
answer
Nandy.
is-
I knew. And then he said no.
Big no.
I knew that you guys were gonna then take this and apply this towards. Can you literally come back from cheating? All right. Can your shorty come back from cheating?
Yes.
Oh, do you feel that way?
Yeah, I believe it.
You
I
really feel that
feel
way?
hurt. Don't get me wrong.
I mean,
I would feel
take
hurt.
that and go left with
feel
it.
hurt.
Preach.
I would
Let
feel
me
hurt.
cheat
I would
on my
absolutely
man.
feel hurt.
Right.
Yo, I had a text message in my phone from a dude that I was cool with. He took it to the left, but I put him in his place. Things was rocky in my relationship, so I entertained it once. But after that, I put him in his place. But I had a text message 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm knocked out asleep. I get a what you doing? My man at the time was absolutely psycho. I got a straight phone to the face. It was absolutely crazy. So we ended up scrapping. But neither here nor there. I've seen so many different situations where guys will cheat. Baby, please, baby. But let a girl just accidentally, like a picture or something like that. Y'all get stupid.
I used to go like that.
Like very last show, he was like, absolutely not. I'm like,
I'm not gonna lie, I am like that.
I used to be like that.
I'm
I'm secure in who I am.
I'm gonna be honest.
You can do what you want.
so you guys don't feel like your female? Do you feel like your female could come back from cheating? Utilizing those same tactics he just
honestly,
said.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
That y'all yes manned him.
Me mentally, I cannot trust that person again after. I can't.
Have you ever cheated?
No.
Never.
No, I've never cheated in a relationship.
Not once,
no,
ever.
Never in a relationship.
In a relationship. No, but you keep
Maybe
saying
if
I've never cheated in a relationship,
if you-
but I've cheated in a situation.
In a
So
situation. maybe in a situationship, maybe in a situationship where it was an official, yes. But I mean, when I'm with somebody, man, I'm committed. I'm with that person. I'm committed. I'm committed 100%. If I know that I'm having these thoughts and these feelings, you know, one, I'm gonna speak with my significant other and tell them, hey, you know what, I'm not gonna say that I'm having these feelings and emotions where I want to step out, but I want to see what I can do to try to fix whatever problems that I have with myself,
right.
Or what problems we have with this relationship.
You'll be surprised.
I will definitely end the relationship if it gets to that point. If I feel like I need to step out, I will definitely 100%.
So you'll step out if she's cheating.
If I find out she cheats, I gotta walk away. I can't. I just there's nothing that and that's something that I know I need to find within myself if I truly love that person deep down. I just can't feel secure.
Okay.
Because that may be because of the insecurities that I have, but I just can't trust that person. I'm always going to think, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? If I know that you call me at this time of day, and all of a sudden you don't call me till like 7:10, 7:15, 7:01.
Right.
What are you talking to?
You know
who
what's
was
crazy?
you talking to? What was you doing?
I was like that.
A lot of women
I
will
was
deal with a man that cheats incessantly. It's
Mhm.
absolutely out of control. And I'll be like, oh yeah, baby, and I'll take him back.
Mhm.
But have that same mind frame. And it's
Mhm.
like, if you gonna do that and then still have that same mind frame, you kind of putting fuel to the fire now. It's been a
You
spread.
gotta overcome that. You
Yeah.
gotta overcome that because that's gonna be a
Because
fight.
if cheating is a no, then you just need to let it go.
It's gonna be a battle. Y'all are gonna be
That
battling.
rhyme. That's his
Need
new
that.
slogan.
And to add on to what I was saying before, you start to create scenarios in your head. Even if you know that person's not doing it, you create scenarios as well.
You are your own worst enemy.
Exactly.
brother.
Oh,
Absolutely.
boy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Your
Like,
mind
you know
will
what
throw
I'm
you
saying?
down
Woo-hoo.
a dark, warped tunnel.
Yeah.
You know, and you could be completely off. And 80% of the time, you probably are completely off.
Mhm.
I think that it's important to know that we can trust our counterpart, right? I think it's a little bit different with a man and a woman because of the way that, let's just be frank, let's say I think it's a little bit different for a man with a woman because a man feels like his woman has been violated, if you would, right? That's sacred ground
Because
for a
we're
man,
territorial.
right? We're very territorial.
And we can say this.
You don't think women are?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying that women aren't, right?
It's
But
just
but
how
it's a
we
different
perceive.
mentality,
It's how we
right?
perceive. Yeah.
the lions,
Mhm.
the lion's mentality, right?
Mhm.
Like, this is my kingdom, this is my queen. Now she's been violated. How does a man overcome that, right? It's a struggle. It's a mental struggle, right? Because it has a lot to do with pride, right? I would
Oh,
say.
yeah.
Yeah,
Another
absolutely.
dude
Well,
getting this my girl.
And
Yeah,
then how
absolutely.
far
Yeah.
along have you been violated by the third party?
Mhm.
Right.
Right? The third party, the other party
How long has this been
involved,
going?
right? How much
Yeah.
have they desecrated you? I think that's
mhm.
important and plays a part. Have you been desecrated to the point behind your back you don't even know, right? You don't even know how far you've been desecrated, how much negative context has been spoken about you.
And and the other, yeah, exactly.
flip
I
side.
want to say that, again, because as you said, can your shorty come back from it? And I want to speak on that. Again, I feel like, and this is my own opinion, I feel like you kind of, I feel like a female kind of knows how far it went, what was spoken about, where it goes. Because a man deeply, truly tries to apologize by telling you everything what happened. I feel like for a female, you kind of never know how far it went.
That's
That's
We're
ridiculous.
not great cheaters.
How did
Y'all great cheaters.
how did
We
how
are.
did- how
We
did
are
the
very-
conversation
we can be.
conspire? How did it all go down? When did you guys meet? What time? Where did y'all, how did this all happen? I feel like
We entertain. That's where it
we
starts.
feel like we want to know exactly, where did we go
Right,
wrong
right,
that you
right.
had to go this route?
And I think it's important to know that men, by far, usually most of the time, they don't have their inbox filled up back to back with females
I don't.
trying to check
Yeah,
in,
no.
right? women.
as
Look
a person-
at my phone right now.
No, but-
They're out of control, and I don't even talk to these people.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And I'm
You could be
single.
the ugliest female on the face of this
Whoa,
earth.
why would that be the next
I'm
century?
just saying, right? It doesn't matter because there's a certain level of human being, men. I won't even say men because most of them are like children, but they will holler at anything and everything.
That is very
right?
true.
So
I know
usually
you.
9 times
That
out
is
of
very
10,
true.
most women have usually got their inbox filled. I mean, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Am I wrong? I don't think I'm
No,
wrong.
no.
So I think that
But-
adds to the level of insecurity for the man.
And I think
women
also
posting a
when it
situation.
comes to it, I think I read it in an article. I saw it in a meme that once when a woman cheats, it's hurtful because it was emotion tied to that. When guys cheat, because
I want to get
guys,
into her.
let's keep it frank. Guys are dogs sometimes. Like
We
you know what
are.
I'm saying. We like several bones at a time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying. So like. You know what I'm saying? If I cheat, it's like, because she's attractive and I want to hit it. That don't mean I don't love you, though.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the other membrane.
Right.
It's the other membrane, right?
Hold on, with 9
With
minutes
women, the cheating is so calculated.
left.
And it's intimate. You know what I'm saying? That when a woman cheats, it's like,
We got-
damn, son.
We gotta,
Damn,
we gotta get. All right, hold on, wait. We gotta get India to speak.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead,
Oh,
India.
my mind.
Go ahead, India.
Let me tell
You got
you
the floor.
something. It is more. It's not emotional at all. It is not. I'm telling you. I know a lot of girls. I'm friends with a lot of girls. I know a lot of female secrets out here. I am a girl. I am a girl. I've cheated before and I've been dogged out like nobody's business before. Believe me, there's no fear. Listen, I was dealing with somebody easy, quick and easy. I was dealing with somebody. Situation got stupid, and I get are you in love with me? Hell no. What is wrong with
So
you?
what you're saying right
It
now?
is
Wait,
not
wait, wait, let
emotional.
her
It's
finish.
Not everybody's
Let her
in there,
finish.
though.
Not
Let
oh
her
no,
finish.
I'm telling you. That's why I'm telling you. It's not emotional. It's not always emotional. And 80% of the time, it's not emotional. It's just literally, we together. We got a rough patch. Things is going really bad. Maybe you did something. I tried to let it go. Things still ain't going right. Somebody pops up in my DM. Hey, how you doing? Oh, you're fine. I wanted you back in the day. Now you're in my DM. And now I'm looking at you. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. You talking to me in ways that my man don't talk to me no more. You making me feel special in ways my man don't make me feel no more. And I'm just like, well, you know what? I'm about to pop that bottle. Since he not going to do it, I'm going to just do it with him. When I leave, though, I'm going to feel like shit. I'm sorry. I love you, though, babe.
Okay.
And that's that. It's not always an emotional thing, and I hate that guys feel that way. Even when y'all are like just dating a female and it turns into a situationship. Everybody and they mother know what a situationship. Y'all not together, but y'all act like y'all together. That's a situationship, right? Because he don't want to put a title on it. That's a situationship.
Maybe she don't want it. It's not always the
How
guy.
you know she don't want to put a title on it?
Well, the shorty don't wanna
Females
put
is
the title.
always open like a can of pig feet for that romance bullshit. Oh my God, love me? You want to date me? Yes.
Right.
You want to be I'll be your wifey. Oh, you put a ring on it? Yes. Like, no.
But there is certain situations where those females continuously look for that, right?
Yes.
So they jump from
Anything.
this to this to this
This
to
to
this
that,
because
yep.
the feeling of being wanted is no longer as strong as it initially was.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. But that's why I say guys don't be putting the title on. But I'm telling you right now, dudes will sit there and they'll mess up a totally good thing where we could just be friends with benefits. But you too scared to be consistent with the benefits because you think I want a situationship or a relationship. No, I want the benefits to this friendship consistently like we agreed from day one. But now
I think that's
you
why a
feel
conversation needs to be had, though. You know what I'm
those
saying? Like, it
conversations
gotta
be
had.
had,
It gotta
and
be
y'all
had.
catch feelings like nobody's business. Y'all ego and pride and that territory bull crap. I'm telling you, that is so a fact.
But if I may,
So a fact.
with a woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
A woman, there's a certain level of, there's gotta be a certain level of intimacy before you let
Why
a
does it have
man
to be that
enter
way?
into your zone.
No, we're sexual beings. Girls are more freaks than guys. Are you
So you
serious?
got the membrane, is what you're saying.
We have one too. Yes, I have a membrane just like you got sexual organ. I got sexual organ.
You got the membrane that pulsates and tells you this is
Word
what I
of
want.
mommy. That thing be leaking, okay? And it just be what it be. And I'm
Okay.
telling you.
All right.
It's not, and it's so crazy that this is still something that's going on for years, hundreds of years. You guys have been feeling like, oh, in order for a girl to lay down, we gotta be in love with him. No!
Okay.
He's cute. And my libido's like, yes.
My
That is that.
libido's like-
When we get done, I'm calling him a cab and he's getting up out my house.
The Uber.
Or I'm telling him to give me money for my Uber and I'm out. What do you mean? It's just that easy. And it's because it's the 20th century, 21st century. This is why it's that freaking easy, though. It's because of the simple fact that at the end of the day, all these guys out here, they done made it like that. You done made it so that you don't want to be in no attachments. You don't want no emotions to be there. So now it's like, okay, well, if all I can do to get some male affection and attention is to sit here and just be a friend with your benefits, well, then I guess that's what we're going to do. And I'm not going to sit here and continuously get hurt and catch feelings for somebody that ain't even going to reciprocate that. Instead, I'm going to play the game like you play it, except I'm going to do it better. Because y'all stupid and y'all don't realize the game was invented by women. Period.
Okay.
And drop the mic on that one. All right, well, we got 4 minutes left, and we have to, and that's going to conclude the relationship goals conversation.
That's it.
Go and catch Love and War. We're coming out. It'll be dropping the first couple episodes will be dropping in March. L.A.W. Love and War web series. You can go and look on Facebook so that you can follow us. I'm definitely starring in it as Yasmin. Hey, you know?
Let me know when that drops. I want to watch it.
I definitely will let you guys
please do.
know.
We're gonna end real quick. We're gonna 30 seconds each New Year's resolutions. So we're gonna start with
definitely making better health choices, not just food, but trying to exercise more. I've dropped the ball for a few years in doing that, and you know what I'm saying? Big belly boy right here. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna do it with you. Where does it say? What do you say? Big belly boys.
Big belly boy.
Whatever.
That's right. And
Just because he ain't here.
We need to make a shirt. That needs to be a shirt.
Boys.
Big belly boy. Yeah,
belly
we
boys.
need that on a shirt.
We're the real Triple B. But definitely making healthier lifestyle choices. I've certainly seen the repercussions of that, given the diagnosis that I have and stuff like that. So definitely exercising better, having more fun, man. I tend to take life really seriously.
10 seconds.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just living life more. And Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself.
Excellent, indeed.
I want to lose the weight that I lost for 2 years and that I gained back. I want to lose that again. I definitely want to put out a mixtape EP, something this year.
I want you to too.
This year.
I want you to do that.
We've been waiting since RPM of 09.
Yeah.
Okay?
We've been waiting.
And,
you like Dr. Dre.
I'm going to be real with y'all, and I know I'm a hopeless romantic. I want to find my love. I want to start my journey in a real serious committed relationship and start with a family. I would date your girl before I would.
Oh, that's cool.
Shots fired. She's a baddie. But but that's definitely what I want to do is evaluate myself and how I do when I'm standings with a relationship, lose my weight, and drop some music.
Lou.
Self-preservation is the key. We gotta watch what we're putting in our bodies, people. All this artificial sweeteners, artificial components that are going into the food. We got to be aware. We need to create a sort of awareness of the positivity of using the
90 seconds.
the proper
Yeah,
nutrition.
Start talking.
And also, looking out for our family and just making sure that we show love to our loved ones and keep it going, keep focused, stay strong, and show love.
I'm piggybacking off of all you guys. Growth. 2020. Growth.
Grow.
That's
Grow.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Grow like
Health,
his hair did overnight.
Wealth, and love, and wanting to start a family. That's it.
Then he got
What
vegan
you
cakes.
trying to say?
60 seconds.
That's it, everybody. Thank you for watching Social
love
Talk.
you.
We'll see you all next
Love
time.
you.
Hit that share button, everybody.
Share,
Peace out.
watch,
Thank you so
repeat.
much.